But welcome to my page. I'm going to get started. We are going to be making a sweet smelling wreath tonight. I found this wonderful bag of Potpourri. And who loves Potpourri? Let me know. Give me hearts. I've got this, and what I'm going to do is open it up. I purchased this at Hobby Lobby. Of course, it was on sale. Only buy when it's on sale. And this is a huge bag, so I kind of want to use all of it because I want that sweet smell, you know, throughout the house. This one is, the flavor is spiced cinnamon. But I know this is probably not going to be big enough. I was trying to get to the larger ornaments on the ends. Woo! They're rolling all over the place, y'all. Rolling all over the place. I was, one of these larger ones. Let's see if that's going to stay. We'll see. But, they had other flavors, you know. They had some winter something or another, and I don't know, some other spicy flavors. This is an artificial wreath. I'm going to look and see what size it is. I want to say it's 20 inches. You can use a real wreath. If you're up north and it's always cold, you definitely can use a real wreath. This is 20 inches. But here in the South, where we sweat through Christmas, we're using artificial. I'm going to be using some artificial greenery to fill in. So we have this evergreen garland. I'm going to heat up my glue. Heat up, heat up. See, this is a huge garland. And I'm just going to be cutting pieces off of it. And this is what I'm going to use for my filler. This is like my second or third garland that I've been using this Christmas season. It's a great way to help fill in some of the places that are lacking on your wreath. It also adds great texture and a different color because, you know, our wreath is really a dark green, and this is a different of a, you know, it's a light green. So it's a great variation to it. Oh, you know what? While I'm here, take a look at this wreath. How unusual is that? Isn't that a cutie? I love this. This is definitely a designer winter wreath that I'm teaching Wreath Making of the Month Club. How to make that. That's in our wreath making club. So I do have a club where I teach once, probably about 4 to 5 times a month, a new wreath design, and that is the one that we have for this month, our main event. To learn more, I'm going to put the link in here, just like that. So that, if you want to learn more about our Wreath Making of the Month Club, there is the link. Now here is the wreath that I fluffed. You always, always, always want to make sure and maneuver every little piece of artificial greenery or stem or flower or, you know, whatever it is that you're working with in your project, because they get flat being shipped all the way from China. So we need to like fluff it and give it some love and make it look real. Isn't that pretty? So that's how I fluffed it. Let me get my video over here so I can see. I think what I want to do is start with the bow. I'm going to see if I have enough ribbon left on this roll. I don't always start with the bow, but I like to start with the largest item on the wreath, and this time it's going to be the bow. So I'm starting there, and we'll be making a quick little bow. This is one of the bows that I teach how to make in the video. So we're going to just do a little loopy-loo, just like that. Yep, loopy-loo is a phrase in the wreath shop, just so you know. We just create a little loop, and then we're going to pinch it together on the back side so that it looks like this. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more so that you can see. And now I'm going to twist it so that now we have the good side facing us. And I'm going to measure out, let's see, let me just see. I want a stuffy, compact bow. All right, so we're going to measure out 8 inches, and we're going to take that loop to the back, and we're going to pinch it into our fingers, and then we're going to twist and measure out another 8 inches on our mat, and we're going to take it back and pinch it. I always go to the back with my loops. So now we have a little bow tie. Isn't that cute? And now I'm going to twist again, but this time I'm going to measure out 10 inches. Pinch it and then twist 10 inches. Pinch it and twist. You're not twisting all the way around, you're just twisting enough to bring the good side of the ribbon to the front. So this is what we got so far. Twist. I'm just making the same length bow loops. So we've got the one in the center, moving these to the back, and then we've got the 2 little bow loops on either side, and then we've got 2 on the other side. So we've got 4. So now I'm going to do 2 more, 1 on each side. Oh, we got a twist. Let's do 1 more. Hi Carol, welcome. So now I'm just going to put these in position around the 2 center loops, just like that. So this is what we have. And now I'm going to twist and do 1 more loop for good measure. Okay, so now we've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 long loops, and then the bow tie we created. So now I want some tails on my bow. So to do that, I'm just going to make sure that this is twisted like I did, and I'm going to make a long tail just like this and put it to the back, and then cut my ribbon off. And I'm going to get some florist wire. You can use a pipe cleaner. But you can't use the needle ties on the wreath, not for this bow, because there's a lot of little loops. I'm just going to put my wire through the loop that we created in the center. And we're going to take it all the way to the back. You know, I'm going to go ahead and cut this big long loop right here so my hands can move a little bit easier. And I'm going to twist the wire on the back very tightly. So twist the bow, not really the wire, because the bow will make the wire, if you twist the bow, the wire will get tighter. All right, so now I'm just going to fluff. Let's see what we have here. So I'm putting the little bow tie bows loops in the center, just like we created it. And now I'm moving all of the other loops just around, just space them around. And I'm going to attach this to the wreath. So this is what we've got. Isn't that cute? Now this is a perfect bow for those Christmas presents. Do you make your own bows for your Christmas presents, or do you buy the stick-on? Oh, thank you for the hearts. I'm just going to put this on real quick. So when you take your wire around your wreath, you want to make sure to go around the frame, because the frame has got more security on it. And then pull it. I'm just going to push all of the ribbons around. I may end up cutting off one of these tails because that might not look as good with the 3 tails on this style bow, but we'll see. So if you're interested in getting emails of projects like this directly to your inbox, just go to my website, southerncharmwreaths.com. You can join my mailing list. There's a blue box on the front, the home screen, and that will get you added into our mailing list so we can send you these videos right to your mailbox. If you find that you have a loop on your bow that's not staying into place, you can use the needle tie to hold it down by just putting the needle, one of the needles of the wreath inside. And you can also thin out around the bow by just cutting off some of the evergreen of the wreath. So if I thought this bow is just a little bit too mashed, too, you know, squeezed in, I can just start cutting some of these evergreens around it. And I'm going to put the loops to the side instead of hanging, not the loops, the streamers, so that they're on the side of the bow and not hanging down. I think I like that style with this. I just like that look with this bow style. There we go. So now what I want to do is add a little bit of the ribbon streamers. But first, let's go ahead and glue in some of these evergreen pieces that we've cut off of our garland. So I'm just going to cut these and add them to the wreath. This will give a little bit more of a base for the wreath. Again, adding more texture and color. I'm going to use my glue pan. Everybody asked me about my glue pan. I just put Gorilla Glue in the pan and that's it. And then I'm just going to, let's see, make sure you can see everything I'm doing. So I'm just going to dip the little pieces in the glue and then stick them in the evergreen. Let me turn it this way so you'll see. So stick it in the glue and then put it in the evergreen, just like that. Now, it's good if you kind of know where you're going to go before you get the glue out. You know, get your little piece out of the glue. You want to make sure you know exactly where you're going to stick it, or you'll make a mess. You'll make a mess. I like to put them all in the same direction. So I don't want them sticking straight out like a pinwheel, or what do you call that thing? You know, I just want them to go more of in a flow around the wreath. All right, so now I've got some on the outside. I'm going to start sticking some on the inside. So this was like the outer ring of the wreath. Now I'm going to be doing the inner a little bit. Just enough to kind of get me started, because I want to make sure I have enough room for all of these goodies of the potpourri. Now, if you make your own potpourri, God bless you and more power to you, but I am not that kind of girl. Not for potpourri anyway. Anything that I have to dry or chop, yeah, I'm not that. That's not me. Somebody else can have that job. But apparently you can make your own potpourri by cutting up some fruits and, you know, anise, what else? Cinnamon, oranges, apples, and then dry them in the oven. I think a couple more. Making sure I'm going in the same direction. So I'm just going to hot glue, make a hole so I know where it's going to go. And this looks to be like maybe a pomegranate. So I'm going to have the little knobby knob thing, the little hole on the outside, I think. Man, if you guys could smell this, this is amazing. Let's dip this in. I want this one a lot of glue. And then attach it to a lot of the needles. I'm just going to hold that there in place for a minute. Yes, you could probably use a glue gun. You just probably have to do a lot of squeezing, but definitely you can use a glue gun. In fact, I have a few glue guns. I usually work with several during the holidays. And I'm pulling out all of my little pomegranates or whatever they are. All right, so now I'm going to do one on the opposite side. So I have one on this side. I'm going to do one on the very opposite side. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more. And then I'll do one over here. Actually, I'm going to double this one up on this side. I don't want them too uniform. Let's do one down here. This is going to be a tricky one because it's so flat. I'm going to do this one on the side of it. And we'll do one up here. Let's see, we'll do one over here. One little one. So we'll let that dry just a little bit. And I'll show you what we have. So one thing that I would like to do, and I meant to do before I added those pomegranates, was to add a little bit of this ribbon in. I wanted to see how it would look if we just created a little loop. And attach that in. So this is, oh, thank you guys for the thumbs up. So I'm just creating a little loop just like this. And I'm going to attach that inside the wreath using the needle ties. Let's just do a couple more. We'll do one more over here. Again, if you're making this wreath at home, which I hope you do, put your little loops in first. This wreath is already smelling amazing. Right, this loop is too long, so I could just pull it out a little bit. Turn this. Turn the good ribbon to the front. I'm just going to probably cut that just a little bit. This is so cute already. Okay. This is what we have so far. Now I'm just going to keep adding more of this fragrant potpourri. If you're just joining us, we're making a potpourri wreath. So these you can wire on. If you want to wire, you just take some florist wire, wrap it around the pine cone, just like this, and twist, and then wire into your wreath. I've lost the wire. So that's very secure. That's not going to fall out. So you can wire your pine cones that way if you want. But I'm just going to hot glue them in. So I'm going to do, I'd like to go ahead and place, that's a little wonky. I'm going to go ahead and place the white ones in first so that I can know that they get evenly spaced out and around. I just need to hold these on a little bit, push them down in deep. Thank you, Judy. Thanks for following. Alright, so this one is going to go here because it's a little smaller, and I'll put this Mac Daddy in the back. This smells so wonderful. Too bad we don't have smell of Facebook. You get it? Like smell-o-vision, but you're on Facebook, so smell of Facebook. If Facebook could do it, they'd have it. You know it. They've come up with everything else. All right, so now that we've got that, I can incorporate some of these other pine cones. It's starting to get really filled up. I'm going to put some of the little smaller ones, you know, towards the side of the wreath so that when the wreath is hanging on the door, you can see some of the goodness on the side. I forgot I have these. I want these little small ones. Remember, if you share this video, it will save it on your news feed and you can come back to it and watch it, as you'll be able to find it easier than trying to find it on my Facebook page. So I'm just going to keep adding. So these are really fragrant pine cones that came in the bag of the Potpourri. Maybe a couple more. I'm not going to use all of them. And the ones that I don't use, I can put them in a dish, you know, in another room. I could hang this out in the kitchen with all the nice smells. Hang it in a guest, you know, bathroom where it tends to get real stinky. I can't believe I just said that on Facebook. Oh well. But there are many options where you can hang a fragrant potpourri wreath. All right, I think we're done with the pine cones. And now I've got these little, first I've got the cinnamon stick, and I've got some apple pieces, some berries. I've got these little walnut looking kind of things. So definitely put these apple slices in because there's only a couple of them. I want to put those in where they're going to be prominent, where you're going to be able to tell that this is a potpourri wreath. We'll put this apple, you know, I think I'm just going to stick the apples beside each other since there's only two. So this is what we've got so far. And now we can add in some of these little, let's see, do I have another cinnamon stick? Yep, I do. I sort of want to put these together since there's only two. And what I'm going to do is just bind these together with some bind wire. So bind wire is just very thin wire. It's wrapped so it looks rustic. You know, I could have left it long and wired it directly into the wreath. That's what I'm going to do. It is kind of like twine, but it's wired. You can see I can bend it, and it'll stay in its place. All right, so I'm going to put this one. I think I'm going to put these over here. Actually, I think I'll put them over here. There are so many places selling this potpourri right now. Trying to make my way through all of the stuff we've already glued in. Let's see. I'm going to move it so that it can get seen. There. Hi, Damon. Oh, thank you. All right, so now I can just start adding in these little walnut looking things. You can choose to quit anytime you want. I just wanted this to be really full and fragrant. And these are great for adding the color on the side of the wreath. You know, this probably wouldn't do well on my front door because, you know, I live in the South and it's not protected. My door's not protected. So this would probably wash off. But you could put it in the foyer, you know, when people come in the house. That's the first thing they smell. And they get that blast of holiday goodness as soon as they walk in the door. And the more we put in, the more smell we'll have. So this is what we've got. So you can see where I have the cinnamon sticks and the apples up front and center, because that's really what makes it look like a little, you know, like a fruity type of wreath. And we have all these little berries, which I love. So I want these in there. But before I add those, oh my gosh, my nose is itching. Isn't there a wives' tale about that? When you have an itchy nose, somebody's visiting or something. Okay, so now what I could do is I could add in more greenery if I wanted. You can add in artificial berries, which I think this will look really cute. So these are berries I've just pulled off of the same pieces that I made on the for the Wreath of the Month Club. These are going to be short. This adds a lot of the dark berry and dark red and dark, I don't know, vibrant red in to match the bow. You could also add in, let's see if I can find some like Queen Anne's lace. So that would lighten up the wreath a lot. We might add that in too. Just doing little sprigs of berries, not big long pieces. That's true, Peggy. No, Connie. This wreath idea can be used all year round. Just substitute out the potpourri, you know, for the holiday, whatever season you're doing it for, spring, Easter. So during any layer, you could stop designing. So you could have just added the bow and stopped. You could have stopped when we just added the bow and the greenery, you know, or just a few pieces of the potpourri. You know, you don't have to keep adding everything that I'm adding. This would be cute as a farm, you know, in a farmhouse style decor, rustic, country themed house. Right, maybe one through here, and then we'll be done with the berries. Definitely put one up here. Don't neglect around the bow area. needs love too. Don't be afraid to try new things. There is really no rhyme or reason to this. Now I'm going to just cut off some more of this Queen Anne's lace. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. Once I added that, when I showed you the example, I was like, oh, we need to have some of that. This came in a big bush. This is a compact wreath. Doesn't have a lot of 3-dimension, so this would be really good for one of those doors that you go in and out of a lot. I've got glue on me. I do love, yes, I do too. I love the addition, Sue, of the white flowers. It helps to break up all of the dark. So if you get a bush and you've cut all the flowers off, save the leaves. That is great for hiding the mechanics on the back of your wreath. So if you have wire, I thought I dropped a piece. If you have wire, you know, showing, or staples or something like that on the production or creation of your wreath, you can hide them using the silk flowers left over from your bush that you've cut off all of the flowers from. This is making a heavy wreath too, so I know some of you are Etsy shop owners and you like to ship your creations. Just know that when you make this one, it's a little on the heavy side. Glue everywhere. Let's see, where do I need more white? I've got one more piece. And then we've got these little berries, and I've got also this, it's these berries from the garland. That's the green. I'm going to see if I want to add that real quick. So when I get done with this, I'll probably take a hairdryer to get rid of all of these glue strings. Let's see, do I want these? I think I might want a couple of these. So remember, this is from the same garland that we got the other greenery from. And if you're just joining me, welcome. I do appreciate it if you'd share the video. When you share these videos, it gives me an idea of the video, you know, the tutorials that you like to see, so that I can do more of them. A lot of times I'll put greenery coming out of the bow, but not for this bow. This bow is a different style. I don't really like putting greenery coming out of it. but if you followed me or watched my tutorials, you'll know, I don't want to cover up the cinnamon stick either, you'll know that I like to put flowers and greenery coming out of the bow. And then we've got these little red pieces. Oh my gosh, thank you guys for the thumbs up. We've got these little red berry pieces that I want to add in because they just smell so good. And even though you can't see them very well, the smell will be there. This is a perfect gift to give to a neighbor, or if you have a relative in a nursing home, this would be perfect to hang on their door, especially with the smell. Well, I'm not sure if they have rules about that, so check. But I was thinking it would be nice to have, you know, on a nursing home door. Okay, I'm just going to add a few more of these greenery pieces on a couple places. There's one there and one here, and then I think we'll be done. Let me just hold this up so you can see it. Now when I hang it up on the door, that's usually when I'll see something else, you know, oh, there's a hole there, and I need more greenery on that side. But for the most part, I think we're done. I'll zoom in just a little bit closer so you can see. So this is a cute little Christmas wreath for your home. Not only does it look amazingly beautiful, it smells the same way. It smells so divine, making your house smell real, you know, warm and inviting and welcoming and Christmassy, wintry. This will last through Christmas. I'm sorry, I'm moving it around so much. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. Just keep going around a little bit. I'm sure you can see all the glue that I still need to clean up. And a close-up of the bow. Thank you guys so much for the hearts. Did you enjoy this video? I know I did. I hope you learned a lot. Again, join my mailing list at southerncharmwreaths.com. There's also a link at the top of this. You could click on that. It'll teach you 9 ways to make a bow for a wreath. And I've got some more how-to videos for making wreaths on my website as well. Just click the shop button. But thank you again for joining me, and I hope that you learned something from this video. I hope that you do something and create your own wreath. And when you do, will you please upload it to my Facebook page and just show me, because it's very, I just get, that's my big hug to myself. You know, when you do stuff like that, it just makes, it fills my love tank. How about that? It fills my love tank, and it makes me feel like I'm giving something back to the world when I inspire you to create and make something with your own hands and the talent that God gave you. So thank you again for joining me. You are a blessing to me. I hope I'm a blessing to you, and you guys have a very blessed evening. Good night.